What's up, guys? Welcome back to part 2 of my ginormous haul. This is more higher end products that I recently have purchased over the last couple of months. So Ulta, Sephora, Nordstrom's, places like that. I don't want to waste too much time, so let's get started. So I'm not really going to break it down by where I purchased it. I'm going to go through the different types of items purchased. I'm going to start with palettes. So if you watched part 1 of my video, you've seen that from the drugstore, I got quite a few palettes slash eyeshadow singles, and that is going to continue in this video. First up is the Too Faced Natural Matte Palette. I really debated whether or not to buy this because I have the first Natural Eyes palette from Too Faced. The difference between the two, that palette has some shimmery shades, whereas this palette is all matte. I've already started to play around with this palette so you can kind of see what shades I'm immediately drawn to. And there have been quite a few reviews and swatch videos already that I've seen, but I'll just pick 4 at random and throw them up there. There's no doubt about it. I love anything Too Faced. Matter of fact, I have another palette coming up next from Too Faced. So there was no doubt in my mind I was eventually going to end up purchasing it. I just didn't think I would buy it so soon. Mainly because if you watched my swatch and review video on the Kat Von D palette, a lot of what's in here, you can find very similar shades in that palette. At least at first glimpse, that's what I thought. But now that I own them both, they are not so similar. Up next, also from Too Faced, I got the Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. I have the first one, and the second one is just as amazing. Now, I will say this. This is not new by any means, but every time I've seen this palette, whether it be Sephora or Ulta, I never even really gave it a second glance, simply because it had such mixed reviews depending on whose channel you watch on YouTube. Some people loved it. Some people thought it was kind of a letdown as a follow-up to the first one. So that's why I never really paid it much attention. There, I'll just throw up 4 random little swatches for you. No, I'm going to give you the... Everybody says this, but the main reason I wanted this palette, Blueberry Swirl, come on. That is such a fun color. And it's going to be on my lower lash line tomorrow. But like I said, it had such mixed reviews on YouTube that I never really gave it a second glance. And then for some reason, when I was looking at the Natural Matte palette, I started swatching them and I thought to myself, what are you doing? Why don't you own this palette? And now I do, and I love it. It smells like chocolate. There aren't many other reasons not to own it. So moving on to the Kat Von D Shade Light Eye palette. I'm not going to go too much in depth on this guy because I did do a full swatch and review video, but this has gotten a lot of love since the day I bought it, for good reason. It has everything. It has everything. There is not one bad thing I can say about this palette. The color, the shade range is amazing. There's something in this palette for everybody, whether you like neutrals, cools, warms. They blend amazingly. It is a little pricey, but again, you're getting 16 shadows in this palette. So at that price point, it's priced pretty good. The last palette, the LORAC Unzipped Gold palette. Again, not new. It's been out for a couple of months, and if you haven't seen it, there you go. It has my name all over it. These are all of the shades that I tend to go towards, neutrals, warms, it's, this is another one and done palette because there are a few really nice, there are these two shades right here. One's a little more of a neutral brown, one's a little more of a warmer brown. Perfect crease colors. You have another really nice brow bone highlight that is matte. The rest of these are shimmers. And this dark brown here is also a matte shade. So actually there's 4 matte and 6 shimmers because there's 10 shadows. There's 10 shadows total in this palette. This is another one though. I felt like it kind of had mixed reviews because this is the second palette in the series. I didn't get the initial one. I wasn't a huge LORAC fan. I have the original Pro palette. I didn't get the second one. I don't know. The shadows themselves are very blendable. They're very buttery. They have tons of kickback and they have tons of fallout. So you have to be very careful when applying those types of shadows. But the more I work with them, the more I like them, which is why I got that one. And even though I call it a one and done palette, it's something that I tend to grab for usually when I want a really nice shimmery inner corner highlight or all over my lid. I haven't used that as a one and done palette just yet, but I'm working on it. Okay, moving on. I did get a little crazy in MAC and I purchased quite a few items. I decided to try the Studio Sculpt foundation. I'm in NC 30. I really, really like this, but I tend to go, well, how do I say this? I usually tend to go for more of a natural satin or dewy finish type foundations. What I have on in this video is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, which it's not a full-on matte. It doesn't make my face look flat. I still have a little bit of a natural finish, but I'm really liking the way that this foundation looks. So, but this is something that I will use in the summertime because I do like to be extra glowy and extra dewy. The other thing that I got at MAC, the Prep and Prime, I got Light Boost. I have Radiant Rose already. I wanted this one because this is for sure a yellow brightening highlighter and I like it. Radiant Rose is more peachy pink. The other thing I picked up at MAC, this is the Finish Concealer Duo. Yeah. Studio Finish Concealer Duo. I got mine in NC25, NW20. You have a yellow shade, which is your NC, and you have your peachy pink shade, which is your NW. NC, which is for neutral cool, NW for neutral warm. Much lighter than my skin tone. These I tend to use as my brow bone highlights. So whenever I'm doing my eyebrows, whether I'm using my dip brow or brow wiz, whatever, I don't carve out my brow, but I do use the concealer more for a highlight, and it just helps to clean up any areas that I might have gone a little crazy. So I've really been liking this. The duo that I had before this was, I think, in 30 and 35, which is more my skin tone, but I wanted something more of a highlight that would stand out on my brow bone. So just in case I'm doing a lighter makeup day, you can still see that my brow bones are highlighted. The last thing that I got from MAC is, no, it's not the last thing, I'm lying. The last thing I purchased is the lip liner in Nightmoth. I picked this up because I got a liquid lipstick from Anastasia in the darker shade, which is vintage, and you really need a lip liner with those liquid lipsticks, especially the darker ones. And I underestimated how dark this lip liner really is, but I do like it. I'll swatch it for you just in case you've never seen Nightmoth. And let me tell you that swatched on my hand doesn't do it any justice, because when it's on my lip, holy mother of God, is it dark. So that is Nightmoth. The last thing that I got from MAC wasn't necessarily a purchase item, but I had some things that I needed to back to MAC. So basically, if you depot things from MAC or you run out of anything and you have an empty container, if you save up 6 of those items, you can back to MAC them. And so for 6 items, if you take them back to a MAC counter at Nordstrom's or Macy's, you get a lipstick for free. I got mine in Please Me to add to my ginormous MAC lipstick collection, and it's just a really pretty neutral pink, and I like it. But back to MAC, like I said, if you take it back to a MAC counter, you get a free lipstick. If you send it back to MAC, or you take it to an actual MAC store location, you actually get your choice of a shadow, a lipstick, I think, or a lip liner, I think. So keep that in mind. If you have anything from MAC and you either like to, if you're a depotting freak like myself, or you just used up everything, take it back once you have 6 items and you get something for free. 2 things I picked up from NARS. This has been sold out everywhere, and I heard it was limited edition and that they weren't going to be restocking, but I lucked out when I was at Nordstrom's. This is the NARS Velvet Lip Liner in Agua. Oh, lordy. It really, really is as gorgeous as everybody says. I have a few of the other NARS Velvet Lip Liners, but I could never get my hands on Agua, and I just so happened, I sent my daughter over, I said, ask them if they have NARS Agua, and luckily they had it, and then it came home with me. So there she is in all her beautiful glory, and it's beautiful. The other thing that I picked up from NARS was a single shadow. I've seen everybody and their mother talk about it, and I picked up NARS Galapogos. Oh, where do I even begin? I'm moving it back and forth so that you can see the gold shimmers. This is a really, really pretty deep chocolatey brown with like goldish, copperish shimmers finely milled into it, which actually transfer onto the lid. So when you dip your brush in this and then you apply it to your lid, you can actually see the shimmers in the shadow, which very rarely happens. But this, oh, these NARS shadows, I have a few of the duos, and this is the first single that I bought. But the NARS shadows, they blend so beautifully. Once I'm off my no-buy. Next, I picked up another Shimmering Skin Perfector from BECCA. I've had Opal for a while. This is in rose gold. And I picked this up specifically because we are coming up into spring and summer, and with a tan, I can only imagine that this is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I was going to say something else to you. So to swatch it, let me see if I swatch it on my hand, if you can get the gist. Can you see that? I don't know. Oh my God, I hate this freaking lighting. So you definitely can't see it on my finger. I don't know if you can see it on my hand or not. But like I said, it's going to be, oh, here, we'll go over here. See that? Yeah, that's a little better. This is going to be gorgeous in the summertime, as I suspected. There's another one that's out right now. It's a little more intense than this one. I think it's actually limited edition. I can't imagine, though, using it as a highlight. I guess as a blush topper, maybe, that it would be. I'll have to consult with my BECCA expert. Nicole, if you're watching, what can you please share your wisdom? You know which BECCA skin perfector I'm talking about, not the rose gold one, the one that's way more intense. And I know you have it. Share your thoughts. Okay, so next up, I could not. You've seen these everywhere. They're everywhere right now. And at $39, I couldn't pass them up. So the Pro Sculpting Duos for Makeup Forever in 1 and 2. The first one has more of a pinky highlighter, pinky champagne-ish. Oh, just look at that. Good gravy. It's actually what I have as a highlighter on today. I have to tell you, though, the bronzers have not been getting a whole lot of love on YouTube, and I don't know why. So this is number 2. I don't know why the bronzers haven't been getting, because I like them both. So I don't know if I just have really bad taste in bronzers, but I think they look gorgeous. So the number 2 has the gold highlighter, which I've heard everybody compare it to Heat Wave from Estee Lauder, or Whisper of Guilt from MAC, which were both limited edition products. I don't own neither of them, so I can't tell you how good of a comparison they are, but nonetheless, they're mine and they're gorgeous. I went a little crazy on Anastasia products, liquid lipsticks, so here we go. I'll swatch them quickly. The liquid lipsticks in Milkshake, which is, like I said in my previous video, I am into the whiteout nudes, and it's not for everybody, I know. The great thing, though, about these Anastasia liquid lipsticks is you can mix them. So I have been mixing sometimes Milkshake and Lovely. So Milkshake is the one you can barely see. Lovely is the one in the middle. Oh, not flipping you off. Lovely is the really pretty pink one in the middle. And then the last one is Vintage, which I will tell you this. This is what they look like, and they are still a little wet as I just applied it to my hand. When they dry, I feel like they do oxidize a little bit. Let me get these off my hands, otherwise I will have liquid lipstick on my hands for days. They do oxidize because I noticed that when I put Vintage on my lips at first, it was a really pretty, vibrant purple. Once it dried down to a complete matte, it was still very pretty, but it was a much deeper, much darker, plummy, deep purple. So keep that in mind. The other purchase from Anastasia, actually I didn't purchase this. This was free with purchase. The new lip glosses from Anastasia. So if you purchased 2 liquid lipsticks, you got a lip gloss for free. This is Dollhouse. Really pretty. It's very comparable to like the Party Pink liquid lipstick. Just a really pretty, vibrant pink. Highly pigmented. Holy crap. You can wear these lip glosses on their own. No joke. Again, when my no buy is complete, I will be buying more. 2 more liquid lipsticks. The first one is from Stila. I already own Patina. This one is in Aria, which is just a little deeper than Patina, but so pretty. I feel like this is going to be a little more appropriate for the fall. I have liquid lipstick all over me. And then the last liquid lipstick, okay, battery, I see you're dying, okay. The last liquid lipstick I purchased from Sephora, and this is in Nude Pink Luster. So this is Aria from Stila, and this is Nude Pink Luster from Sephora. I am all about liquid lipstick right now. They are, now of the liquid lipsticks that I own, Stila is the most long wearing. It is the most drying. I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable by any means, but I don't have super, super dry lips, so it's not uncomfortable for me. What I usually do if I'm having one of those moments where it's too dry, I'll take like an EOS ball or something like that, and I'll put it over top so that it still looks somewhat matte, like it's not a gloss, but it's at least a little more comfortable. Okay. Okay, so last up for lipsticks, these are the, what are these called? Too Faced Melted Liquified Longwear Lipsticks. Now, I have a few of the original shades that had come out like last year sometime. These two are newer colors in Melted Coral and Melted Strawberry. Again, perfect for spring / summertime. Oh. And these, honest to goodness, really are long wearing. They ain't joking about that. But what I like about these, they're not matte, like dry down to a matte as far as not gonna budge. So we have Melted Strawberry, Melted Coral. They are very, very comfortable on the lips. There's nothing worse than dry down to a matte, suck all the moisture and life out of your lips. I hate that. And I find I don't have to reapply and reapply and reapply and reapply. They stay nice on the lips all day long. Now, Too Faced also recently came out with Too Faced Melted Metal Liquified Metallic Lipsticks. I got 4 of them. They came out with 8. I bought 4 of them. They've gotten, I haven't heard a whole lot about them so far, but what I have heard, they've gotten mixed reviews. When I first got them, I was sold on the darker shades because they can stand alone. They have enough pigmentation to be able to stand on their own. But I'm going to start with the lighter shades. So I got, in the lighter shades, I got Metallic Tutu, which is a peachy pink metallic, and I got Melted Metallic Macaron, however you want to say it. So I can do a lip swatch video if you're interested. Just let me know. What I love about these is, at least on the lighter shades, they're all, these are not long wearing. They're amazing as a lipstick topper or whatever you want to put it on top of. So the lighter shades to stand alone, they're a little bit too sheer. So depending on how highly pigmented your own lip color is, these may not work for you. You can't really see, maybe when I turn you can kind of see the finish that it gives off as far as the metallicness in it. Now it's not, it's so hard to explain. It's not like a, like if you, unless you were born in the 80s, but if you're familiar with how like frosted lipsticks looked in the 80s and they had that really heavy metallic finish to them, these are not like that. The metallic in it is just to kind of give it enough of a finish that you can see. It's not a shimmer either. It's so hard to explain. Like I said, if you guys want to see swatches, lip swatches, let me know and I'll do that for you. The 2 darker shades that I have are Purple, Melted Metallic Violet. This is my favorite color. And Melted Metallic Jelly. I do think once I have completed my makeup addiction courses and my no-buy is complete, I am going to buy the other 4 shades. So this is the Melted Violet and this is the Melted Jelly, the darker one. But when I turn my hand, I don't know if you can, I don't know if it's going to pick it up. A lot of people are saying that it has a duochrome type finish. I don't know about that. Maybe the Melted Violet one as far as duochrome, because when you look at it from a certain way, it almost looks pinkish, like a really vibrant pink. And then when you turn it another way, it definitely is a violet purple. But like I said, these are, the darker shades are pigmented enough to stand on their own, and the lighter shades are perfect. I actually, here's how I love to wear Melted Metallic Tutu on top of Melted Coral. So this alone is a very bright, very vibrant coral orange. This on top of it, definitely, it mutes it down a little bit, but it puts the most beautiful finish on top of it. And like I said, it's the metallic finish, the shimmer that's in it, that makes it look so pretty. So like I said, if you guys want to see those as lipstick swatches, let me know. All right, the last few things are kind of boring, but I will share them with you. The first one is, what do they call this? No Bleeding Lips Secret Lip Liner. So basically it is a clear lip liner that is designed to line the outer part of your lips. So you're going outside of your natural lip line, so that when you put on a darker color lip gloss, lipstick, whatever, it's not running all over your face. It was, I think, 15 bucks or something like that at Sephora. And when I picked it up, I was like, because I've tried other no bleed lip liners and some of them are crap. This one actually works. I was pretty surprised by it. I used, what did I use? I tried it with a gloss that I own that is notorious for bleeding, that literally when it's everywhere. It's all over my face. But that, if you're looking for a lip liner that helps to keep lipsticks from bleeding, that's a good one. This is the Naked Skin Concealer. Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. I got mine in light neutral. There's not really much to say about this other than it's phenomenal. Phenomenal. What I love the most about this is the doe foot applicator. Let's see if you can catch my drift when I apply it. The doe foot applicator is so flexible that wherever you're applying it, and there's so much product, like look, I'm still going and I still have a lot of product on here. So literally once out the gate, 1, 2, 3, 4, flip it over, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I still have enough to go chin, cupid's bow, down the nose, and up the forehead. There's no need to go back in for a second go around. No need. You have plenty just on the initial application. I will say there's a pretty decent range as far as shade selection goes. However, the shades themselves, how do I want to explain this? The reason that I got neutral light is because the warm, even though the light warm was way too dark under my eyes, it just did not, even though it blends out nicely and it has tons of coverage for how thin of a concealer this is. A lot of people compare this to MAC Pro Longwear. I cannot wear MAC Pro Longwear unless it's in the summertime because it's so drying. But this is super moisturizing. It does not dry out my under eyes whatsoever. And combining this with the NYX HD Banana Powder, which I showed in part 1 of my drugstore haul, oh my God. Oh my God. You will have the smoothest, most seamless, creaseless, gorgeous under eyes of your life. Of life. Trust me on this. Trust me. So Naked Skin Concealer, A-OK in my book. The last thing I picked up, the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizers are everywhere on YouTube. I'm tired of hearing people talking about them. I did go to Sephora a couple of weeks ago and I got samples. This is the smoothing primer, which let me tell you, I have used a lot of silicone-based primers. Nothing compares to this. No, I won't say it. There's one other thing that compares to this, and I'm debating purchasing it, and it's that new one from Murad. It's like Invisiblur or something like that. The only texture issue that I have is like right in this area, and that's because the one breakout episode I had was so bad, and I was so bad at popping and squeezing that I destroyed this part of my face as far as texture goes. You can definitely see it's getting better, but that's really the only spot, other than sometimes my pores in this area get a little large and in charge. But this smoothing primer, it's better than the Smashbox one. It's better than the Professional. It's better than any that have come before it. Now, like I said, the Murad one just came out right after this. And I got a sample of that too. And that's the only thing that I think I might like a little bit better than this. But here's the thing. The full size of these, I think they're $36. No. This little guy at 0.5 fluid ounces was $16. So I figured I would at least give the little guy a go and see how, because I don't need it to cover my whole face. I'm going to see how long I can stretch this out, and if I can get this to last a pretty decent amount of time. I don't feel like I can need to justify buying the larger size. I can't remember how big the normal size bottles are. I want to say they're 1 fluid ounce, but I could be wrong. But even still, if they are 1 fluid ounce, you bought 2 of these and it's still $4 less. Just saying. Okay guys, so that is all for my ginormous haul. I might film a part 3. Let me know if you guys want to see it. I still have some things that I purchased online, Haute Look and things like that, that I've gotten over the course of the last couple of months. If it's something that you guys want to see, let me know, and I will definitely get that up for you. Coming up here within the next couple of days, quite a few of you had requested to see a brush collection, my favorite makeup brushes, so that's in the works. And I had mentioned in a previous video that I completely filmed my entire ColourPop collection with the sound off. So that is going to be refilmed here in the very near future. So you can look forward to seeing those. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Until next time, I will see you guys in my next video.